Welcome. Would you like to introduce your name, year, course, and university?
Yes, so hi, my name's Ferris Al-Syad. I'm a fifth year dental student at King's College London.
Can you tell us your hometown?
I'm from like a little town in Egypt called Tanta. Like that's where I'm like originally from, but I currently like kind of live in like the Essex, East London area.
Could you remind us of the course you're currently studying?
So I'm studying dentistry, 5 year course.
Why did you choose your course?
It's a great question. Why did I choose this course? I think generally speaking, I always had a slight feeling I wanted to enter something within the scientific field. Not like when I was a 3 year old, but kind of when I went through secondary school and sixth form. So I initially looked at medicine. My parents are both doctors. I was like, oh, cool, follow the family. And
Hmm.
then after doing some work experience, I was like, okay, definitely don't want to be in the NHS for that long. So then kind of looked at dentistry, liked how there's a very good work-life balance. There's excellent patient communication, a lot of rapport building, and it kind of built on the skill set that I had, which is like I like to talk, communication, a bit of leadership, a bit of business-minded entrepreneurship. So yeah, that's kind of why I chose dentistry, because it allows you to kind of explore your passions and also have enough time to do other things that you enjoy.
How many years again are you into your course?
So I am just starting my fifth year.
And what have you thought of your course so far?
I've enjoyed it. Some people might say it's a challenging course and it's difficult to, balance things around it. But I've personally found that as long as you have a good support network, good friends, it's been quite enjoyable. And in terms of the content itself, I really enjoy it. Like, I know people are like, why do you want to look at teeth all day? But honestly, I'm that person. I really enjoy the whole, patient-based system within dentistry, whereby you actually get to see your own patients from like your second year in uni. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a great experience so far.
Did you have a placement year while on your course?
Um, Kind of. So we do placements in Portsmouth currently, and that's going into like end of fourth year into fifth year. So I'm currently on a placement in a sense where 1 week out of every month I go to Portsmouth and we work at like a big NHS dental centre there.
And what is it like doing that 1 week out of every month?
It's nice. I think it's a good change of pace because I've been in London my whole life, like my primary school, secondary school, sixth form, university. So going to Portsmouth has been great. You get a completely different demographic of people, you get new experiences, and you get to kind of test your clinical skills a lot more. So it's been pretty good.
So when it comes to subject slash A levels,
Mm.
so kind of if a student was looking to go down your path, what do you think the best subjects or A levels, GCSEs, A levels would be for them to choose to kind of get them the best advantage to be in the best position when looking to study your course?
Yeah, that's a really good question, actually. So there's this classic idea that you need to do the four sciences, which is chemistry, biology, physics, and maths. I'll just tell you guys now that's absolutely not true. Generally speaking, if you want to apply for dentistry, you want to have strong GCSEs, meaning you want to have mostly, eights and nines, and sevens. The subjects that you do in don't really matter too much as long as you do at least like double science or triple science. You need to have some kind of scientific background. With regards to A levels, most universities will ask that you have to have chemistry as a compulsory and then one other science. So most people's combination is chemistry, biology, maths. But for me, for example, I did chemistry, biology, and psychology. And I know other people that even just did chemistry, biology, and history or something like that. So with regards to what's the most advantageous, it's really dependent on the university you're applying to. But your best bet is to have very strong GCSEs, not necessarily have to be super science based. And then at A level, you naturally normally have at least one to two sciences. And some universities count psychology as a science. So, you know, you can get lucky there as well.
Hey, if we now go into a university you're studying at, which
Mhm.
is
King's College London, yep.
the best and worst things about studying at King's College London, starting off with the worst.
So I'd say worst thing is that from my experience, out of all the dental schools, it has a lot of like, there's a feeling of competitiveness, like silent competitiveness, in the sense of no one's horrible to you. No one's like, oh, mad, you did rubbish in this exam, whatever. But there's always a feeling that everyone's trying to one up each other in a sense. And you kind of have to stay on your toes, which, some people might like because it kind of pushes you further to do more things. But it can be quite overwhelming when the degree to some people can be quite challenging. So that's probably the worst thing I'd say, because at the end of the day, you're already doing a challenging degree. Why do you want to add an extra challenge on top? Like, there's one thing at a time, guys. Um, And then I'm assuming next thing is the best thing. So the best thing is, I'd probably say, the ability to network and get to know people. So in London, you're kind of in the heart of it. You're in the thick of it. You get to meet some really interesting clinicians. You have amazing professors, and people teaching you, like literally, I open a textbook and the person on the front page taught me about, dentures last week. So it's really cool to have that amazing expertise at the university, and at the same time be able to meet some amazing clinicians and amazing people as you go along your journey, which is 5 years, so it's quite long.
If we go to where you've been living for the last 5 years, where did you live in your first year, and what did you think?
Right here, so at home. So I've lived at home for the last 5 years with my mum and dad. I'm an only child. I've loved it. It's been great. First year was fine. I think a lot of people have this worry that if they live at home, they won't make friends, or you're not really gonna be able to blend in with the social life. That's really not true. It's kind of all about your intention. If you make the effort to go meet people, if you make the effort to actually get to know people through different societies, through different social events, you'll have a fantastic time. The only thing is you just have to make sure you can be bothered to go out a bit later and come home a little bit later. And if you have, problems with staying out late, then good luck. But yeah, I've had no problem, thankfully.
And you think so? If we go into that just quickly and talk about
Mm.
students who, again, may live at home, is there any advice you would give them if they plan to live at home, but also plan to have a bit of a social life when going to university?
Yeah, so my best piece of advice is to just go out there. So in the sense of, a lot of people have this reservation, they feel like, oh, I'm going to be embarrassed, or I don't want to talk to anyone, or 1, 2, 3. But you just have to make the effort to get to know people. Once you do that, you're going to be absolutely fine. And the way I kind of did that was just going to different societies. So Arab society, and then I went to some dental society things. So just make the effort. And if you're interested in a particular sport or music or art, or you have a passion, go to those societies as well. That was kind of how I found my footing and how I managed to meet the people that I'm really good friends with now. And also make the effort on your course. Meet the people that are on your course, try and chat to them. Don't feel like you're constricted to them though. And yeah, as I said, just straight up, the easiest way to just get to know people, just go to different societies, and you're going to meet some amazing people.
If we go to the London area, can you tell us what it's like to be a student living in the London area? So the shops, the nightlife, the different things to do.
Yeah, so I'm sure I don't really know much about the nightlife, but generally speaking, I'm sure it's fantastic. All I know is that from my mates that go out, it's expensive, so just bear that in mind. And just generally speaking, London is a very expensive city comparative to other places in the UK. You do need to be aware that you're going to be paying a lot more, especially in the last year, as the recession has hit. The prices for a lot of the apartments and a lot of places that you're renting to live out have gone up significantly. So you have to bear that in mind. And just in terms of shops, restaurants, experiences, it's a great city. Honestly, you can find anything for anyone. You want to have the most exotic food you can. You want to go have some cheap meals you can, but you just have to explore the city. It's a big place. But yeah, I really love London. I can't really imagine myself going to uni anywhere else. And with regards to all the experiences that I've had, I've found it amazing. And I'm sure anyone that goes there will find it amazing too.
Are you able to get everything you need as a student? Meaning, obviously, you live at home. So this is more of questions for students who may live in an accommodation and they're looking for food places to be living by themselves. Do you think, again, you do say it's for everyone, but for those students who are a bit worried about maybe shopping, maybe getting certain foods, maybe getting certain dishes, do you think that's possible in London?
Oh yeah, absolutely, definitely. But as I said, it comes at a price. But yes, you can find absolutely anything with relative ease. As I said, as you get more acquainted with the city, you find places that you enjoy more, you build your relationships, you get better prices. So yeah, but in terms of are you going to find everything you want? Yes, no question. But the asterisk next to it is it might be at a price that you don't particularly like. So just bear that in mind.
What general advice would you give to students about to study at university?
General advice I'd give to students. So my general piece of advice is to just make the most out of your time there. Don't just go there to study a degree and graduate. That is a big waste of time. You're literally going there and you're paying 9.25k a year. Make sure you make your mark. Make sure you do something that you're going to be proud of when you grow up. And at this age, your time isn't as valuable as it's going to be in the future. In the future, you're going to be working a job. You're not going to be able to have as much expendable, time. So use this time to build your skills, improve yourself, and find out what makes you tick, in a sense, to find your passion. And it sounds very wishy-washy, but the way that you kind of do that is by just exploring different things that you enjoy. So if you realize that, okay, when I was at secondary school, I really enjoyed economics and business and finance, make the effort to go and, go to different events that are related to it, or go to different societies, or speak to people that have similar interests. University is literally a central hub of people that have passion for a particular subject. So you can find people in everything. And just to further that, just make sure you do things that you are enjoying with regards to your own personal development. So again, not just like thinking, oh, I want to be like, oh, economics is cool, but think about things that like, you like in general. Like, I want to be a better musician. I want to be better at sports. So yeah, just generally, like, it's not, my advice is, don't think of it as, oh, I need to just get the top marks. Like, obviously that's very important. Everyone knows it already, but think of it as, okay, well, as an adjunct to this, I also need to develop my other skills, my other personal skills, my other passions that I wanted to develop in my own time.
Okay. What advice would you give to students wanting to study at your university?
So for people that want to study my university, best thing I'd say is probably read up on the guidelines and the entry requirements. That's the number one thing I'd say. Especially for dentistry, like, there's certain requirements that you need to have, like particular entrance exams, like the UCAT. You need to get particular grades, X, Y, Z. Additionally, other things that I'd recommend if you're going to go to King's is to start understanding like the anatomy of the university, because we have like different campuses. So make sure you're at a campus that you like and it's in an area that's easy for you to reach. That'll probably be my best piece of advice.
And what about students who are actually want advice to actually be a student at the university? Because you talked about it's a little bit competitive. Is there anything you can like pre-warn them about actually studying at the uni?
Speak to older years. That's my number one piece of advice. Make sure you talk to people that have done what you've done already. So if you're going in as a first year, make friends with the second years, or talk to people. They'll have like a Google Drive somewhere that has some notes that you can use. Like, everything that's been taught to you has been taught before. So don't waste your time remaking notes that have already been made. Use the resources that you have, and that will make your life so much easier. It saves you time, makes it easier to study, makes you have a much better life.
And what advice would you give to students wanting to study your course at university?
Watch my YouTube channel. No, but on a real note, if you actually want to study the course at this university, my best piece of advice is to make sure that you engage in all of the extra things that are related to dentistry, because dentistry is a very, 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 very broad subject. Obviously, a lot of people just, in a funny way, think it's just teeth, which it is basically just teeth, but there's a lot within teeth, and there's a lot within the specialties that you have to go down. So make sure that you take advantage of going to different events, as I mentioned, like the Dental Society. Go to a lot of conferences. They're all free, right? Just go to the free ones. And especially because you're in London, like, speak to your professors, speak to the people that are there, and try and gain some extra insight into how you can become the best dentist you can be, and how you can be the best entrepreneur you can be.
Hey, you chose going to university over an apprenticeship. What path do you to make this choice?
Quite a simple one. There isn't an apprenticeship for dentistry. And also, just generally speaking, for me, university, I wanted to get my own degree. I wanted to ensure that I've got a sustained education within that traditional route, which is something that I find important. If there was an apprenticeship in the future that came out for dentistry, maybe it would be something people should consider, but I can't really see that happening soon. But you never know. It happened in medicine, so it could happen in dentistry too.
Okay. What do you do alongside your degree?
A lot of stuff. I've got like a YouTube channel that is called Ferris Dent. I kind of talk about like advice for dentistry, kind of give advice like productivity, stuff like that, things I enjoy. Got a podcast as well where we interview like different guests on dentistry, and we talk about why you should kind of engage with the profession and learn more about different specialties. I currently am a founder of a charity as well with two of my mates. Something I take very seriously. In the last few years, we've raised over like £100,000 for people that are homeless and people back home. So yeah, a few things that I like to do alongside university. I'm sure there's some other things as well, but those are kind of like my main three things I really enjoy doing.
Do you think a student going to university has time to do these things while at university, or do you think the majority of their time will be taken up with studying?
Hopefully I'll prove that you can absolutely do things alongside university, like 1,000,000%. University isn't made to exhaust you of your time and resources. It's done in a fashion that allows you to have flexibility and allows you to do things alongside it for your own personal development. People think of university as a medium to just gain an education, but it's not. It's a medium to gain education, yes, but your secondary target is to gain an improvement in your personal well-being and personal development. So yes, short answer, absolutely you can do things alongside it. It's all about your time management and your ability to kind of optimize the way that you work.
Okay. Could you tell us about your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel called Ferris Dent. Over the last 2 years, I've kind of been posting videos with regards to dental admissions and how to optimize yourself to get into dental school. I'm now kind of shifting my content away from that and talking more about how to kind of optimize yourself in general, improve your workflow when it comes to studying, when it comes to your own personal development, hopefully making some finance stuff soon as well. And that's just something I find that's really important because, especially as young adults, we don't get that much exposure to how we should use this time, when we're like 18 to like 25, to really build our skills and invest in ourselves. So I just find it really important to bring that message across, and I hope to do so over the next, until I get tired of it, basically.
So at this point, I let students have what I like to call a free for all. You can say what you want about what you like. You can say something smart. You can say something dumb. Literally, the floor is yours.
Okay. Anything I like. All right, then I'll just give some advice. I'd say anyone that's listening to this, if you've made it this far, thank you firstly. But second of all, hopefully use this interview, this discussion as an opportunity to kind of think introspectively, kind of have a little think about what you want to achieve over the next 5 to 10 years and what steps you need to take to get there. So one thing I really recommend to people is to kind of have like an end goal. When they say, what is it, shoot for the stars, land at the moon or something like that. So have like an end goal in sight, write down what that is. So let's say be CEO of a company or whatever, and start writing down what steps you need to take, however small they are, from today to reach that goal. If you start doing that, keep taking steps every single day, improve 1% every single day, you'll find that everything compounds and you achieve your goals a lot better. So the reason I say that, and the reason why I think it's really important in this university talk, is because university is literally the perfect place to gain the resources you need to develop into the person you want to be. So take the effort, write some things down, have a little game plan about what you want to do, and don't waste those 3 to 5 years at university that you're going to have. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I am plugged in.
Amazing. Thank you.